So the next portion of this is to go into a quick question and answer, and then open it up to the audience. So if you guys want to start preparing your questions, we've got about 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes to make sure we honor your time.
And we're going to have a drawing.
And then we're going to have a drawing. Thank you very much. So you taught us quite a bit and added some good value. If we could recap how to make a mountain man cry. How to get into a relationship if you're single. This is going to be perfect. And how to jump the line at Mickey D's. So I think we're going to be good with what we're going for. So I don't know if I have any more questions. My life is solved.
Your life is complete.
It is complete. I think I can walk out of here ready to go. But some of the questions that I have, open it up. First of all, we have a lot of sales techniques that we go through. And a lot of people, first one that you hear at a selling convention or talk is, you need to have a 30-second speech. Elevator speech. So could you talk to that and why that's important or not important? And
It's useful to have because it forces you to be concise in communicating your value. I don't know that you must have one, an elevator speech being a quick little summary of what you do and why it matters to people that you could deliver between floors in an elevator if someone said, "Hi, what do you do?" Right? So that's why they call it an elevator speech, because you've got like 30 seconds to get it across. But the exercise of creating it, that's what's valuable, because it causes you to ask yourself, why does what I do matter? And then, what is it that I do? So it's not what do I do and why does it matter? It's why does it matter and what do I do? Right?
so if you're other things that kind of, so we have the broad base. So what I want to get at is a little bit of the nitty-gritty daily systems putting in place. Because so we understand that the relationship's important and the perspective's important and how we sit in their chair instead of ours. But getting our mindset there, are there things that we can be doing on a daily basis? First thing we get in the office in the morning, assuming that we're a salesperson.
Even more than that. I would say get in the habit of starting and ending each day the way you would like it to start and end. Something I do, I'm a Christian, and I believe that my faith is an important part of my life, although I don't make a big deal of it, and I don't make everything about church or something like that. I just believe there's a God. Okay? So every morning, I start the day, thank you, God, for this good day. And then I start thinking about what am I going to do today? Why does it matter? How can I make a difference? Okay? And at the end of the day, absolute last thing when I lay my head on the pillow, thank you, God, for this good day. And I start reviewing what happened today. And it might be a day I broke an arm or had an auto accident or whatever. I will still be able to find some pockets of good within that day. You know, I had the accident and someone stopped to help me. Be thankful for that. You know, I'm connected well enough that I wasn't all alone trying to solve my own problem. Those kind of things. So mindset is important, and also lifelong learning. I've always got a book or two or three or five that I'm reading. I don't force myself in a driven kind of a way to complete book after book after book. But I've got books that I'm reading, and whichever one I'm in the mood to deal with at a particular time determines which of the five, instead of which of all books in the world, that I pull out of the stack and I spend some time reading. But if I'm not in the mood to read, and I need to read, I'll read a paragraph. See, successful people are able to get themselves to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, and they don't feel like doing it. That's the key. Self-management, self-leadership. Are you able to get yourself to do what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it? And still do a good job of it, not just a token job. See, that's a skill that's acquired over a lifetime. So it's little daily things and little ways of learning and practicing those disciplines that just get yourself to do what's necessary. And if you can't lead you, please don't lead others. Okay.
So you touched upon doing a good job, and I know one of your quotes, I don't know it verbatim, but you mentioned that not just completing the sale and doing a good job for them, but actually them walking away understanding that you did do a good job for them. And could you touch upon that and just being conscious about that?
Well, I think we need to explain to people the value they're getting, because they don't always see it. A lot of times you sell somebody something or you do something for someone and they kind of got it, but they didn't really realize how much value was really conveyed. It's very useful if we can review with them the value that was received. Not in a way, hey, let me tell you what I just did for you. God, you're going to love me. You know, no, it's not like that. It's just, let me review with you what you got. Now, Eldon, what's going to happen is first, you will get a letter from our office that'll have a summary of these items. But you'll also get an email. It's got a link in there. And if you go to this website and you just spend a moment or two registering, then what will happen is a whole series of valuable items will flow to you after that. And then the second thing is, I'm going to be calling you probably 2 weeks from now and inviting you to a program. And at that program, I'll introduce you to these other people we were talking about a moment ago, blah, blah, blah. So I need to show him what he just got, because most people don't really realize it unless you do that.
So do you need, in managing emotions, do you need to set that next carrot in front of them, or do you, I mean, you're always building a relationship, correct? So
Yeah.
when you're completing that transaction, are you always looking for that next 2 weeks, month, or just follow up?
No, I just want them to get the sense that they have a new business friend now, that I'm on their team. That when I give them my card, it means they can actually call. You know, it's amazing to me. People say, you know, I would have come up at the end of your speech and spoken, but I didn't want to bother you. What? That's why I was there. You didn't want to come say, well, I just didn't want to intrude. Intrude? You know, if I'm at home alone, don't bother me. But if I'm in the meeting and dressed for business or whatever, you know, for heaven's sakes, say something. And people say, will it be okay if I sent you an email? Duh. That's why I publish my email address.
Well, I think that's a good segue into standing up and asking a question. So does anybody out there, yes sir?
Let's talk about music, Jim.
Let's talk about music.
What effect is that, or how important is that?
You know what I did prior to this tonight? I got here at 4 o'clock. I wasn't supposed to be here until 5. So, parked my car outside and walked down the block to the music store. Played 7 different guitars and 1 banjo. And then just kind of poked around through the sheet music and some other things, and then came on back up here. I play guitar every day. I absolutely love playing guitar and singing. And by the way, next Tuesday the 25th, Westlake Village Inn, Bogey's Nightclub. I'm playing and singing from 5 to 7 p.m. Happy off. Seriously, no cover charge. Come down there.
Is it acoustic or is it acoustic?
Yeah, I've got an acoustic 6-string and acoustic electric, and also a 12-string, and then I've got a nylon string, a classical guitar. And I just do classic rock and roll and just, you know, fun music. Pretty much everybody knows.